Let's go. Let me know if y'all can hear me. What's happening, fam? Been a little while since I've been live. The chat box rolling. What is happening? Facebook, YouTube. 575. All right. Quick with it. Quick with it. I know it's kind of random, but I got a wedding this weekend, so I figured why not go early, right? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Where y'all from? Storms. Yeah, it's been raining here too. Can you believe all the fires though? That's wild. Wild, y'all. Yeah, you know we're gonna talk about the Vegas alien, of course. Gonna get everybody's opinion on the matter. So, my YouTubers, I went in and I set up the first tier of my members. All right. So now, if you become a member on YouTube, you get a special set of emojis. All right. Like quite a few of them. And the longer you've been a member, you get like a logo in front of your name. And like I say, it goes all the way up to like 24 to 36 months, and the very last one is like an energy orb, which is really cool. It kind of looks like the night god orb, the actual logo orb. Hold up, let me go out to YouTube right quick. I'm gonna grab that chat real quick here. And just to see, I want to just see how this members thing is going to go. And I have a members goal set up right here. The more members I get, I have a goal of, I want to say 100. And then the super chat goal is at the top of the screen as well. All right. I'm trying to change up my live vibe a little bit here, y'all. You know what I mean? I've been working with somebody at YouTube to better my platform, and they highly recommend that. So, all right, hold on here. I'm going to pause it so I don't have to hear myself. It drives me nuts. All right, pop out chat. Okay, cool. Let's go. Kim Archibald. There you go. See the crown next to Kim Archibald's name? See that crown there on that YouTube chat? So the longer you've been a member, you'll get them crowns, and they upgrade the crowns, and then you get access to all kinds of emojis. And I want to say there's one more thing, but I can't quite remember it. But yeah. You get priority in the comments as well. You get a good deal on gear. But don't worry, I haven't forgot about you, Facebook. Facebook doesn't have a membership set up like that. But I appreciate any members I get. I really do. So, fam, all right. You know we got to start chatting about it. The Vegas alien, y'all. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Now, I caught some flack, not so much on Facebook, but my YouTube crowd was pretty stickler on the second video I posted when it comes to the Vegas alien. All right? So much so that I went out and I created another video explaining myself on that. All right? I came across that video on Instagram, and I already knew, all right? I already knew that video had the sound or the sound bite from the 911 call dubbed over it. Okay? That is this video right here.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot.
Let me pause it. I'm going to put my sound bite on here real quick, just so y'all can hear it. And let me know if y'all can hear this.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there. There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us.
And I want to explain myself on this alien, all right?
Okay, where is this on
this
your property?
Alien, I caught a lot of crap for on, like I said, YouTube. Okay?
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Thanks,
correct,
miss.
and they're very large.
All right, hold
They're
on
like
here.
8 foot.
Let's see.
9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know.
Okay, let me know. Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear him? Can y'all hear
Big
him?
eyes, they have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Too loud, too loud. Okay, let me crank it down. Let me crank it down. The actual video, not my voice, right? Sorta. Okay, hold on. What'd you say, babe? Hold up. Hold on here. I'm not playing the sound yet here. Okay, hold on.
Beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us.
And crank it down a little bit. And find that happy medium
where
here.
is this on your property?
Okay. So this footage, all right. This footage is so I got two different. Okay, cool. Thanks, babe. Awesome. You guys can't hear that ding, can you? Can you hear that ding when she texts me? Yeah, cool, Kim Archibald. I like it. She's rocking the emojis. I love it. I love it. Them alien emojis. Those are awesome. Cool. And you know, I always give my members a little more attention in the chats. It's easier to pick them out and stuff like that. So, this video, I have gotten a number of different theories or opinions as to where it came from. All right, this video I found on Instagram. Okay, it was going viral on Instagram, and I saw it. I already knew. I knew that 911 call was dubbed over it. I knew that. That was just somebody's little creative, gimmick to get people to watch it. All right, I get that. I know that the 911 call was from the news channel. But this video right here, so my girl was actually watching a podcast with the caller. All right? My girl was watching a podcast with the initial caller from the Vegas incident. And people, I mean, I don't know. Some people think it looks fake. I don't think this looks fake, fam. And night vision alters images, and night vision is a funny way to see things, all right? I do not think that is dubbed in, and here's why I want to say that. Okay, for entertainment purposes only, for one, all right? For entertainment purposes only, My opinion is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's absolute fact, all right? Just because this thing has been getting fact checked like a MFer on Instagram lately. It's been getting fact checked like a mother. And you already know you already know my opinion on that fact check. Okay? Those fact checks tend to only hit checks that are actually, you know what I mean, without saying, because I got my, I don't want to get in trouble or nothing. But usually they don't hit shit with fact checks unless, you know what I mean? I think it's real as hell. And like I said in my video on YouTube, there was a gentleman right at the top of my comments on Facebook. Like, Facebook wasn't as critical as YouTube, but YouTube has a different crowd, right? YouTube has a little more critical crowd. And that's not saying nothing about Facebook or nothing like that. I love my Facebook crowd too. But YouTube can be a little bit more sticklers. And I kind of caught a little heat for this one. But to me, you look at this video, right? One of the biggest arguments I got was, oh, there's grass there. They were in Vegas. There ain't no grass in Vegas. And then I went back and I looked at the original video of the mother shooting the video of the forklifts or the loaders that were in the backyard. There's grass all over their yard. So that was invalid instantly. There was grass all over their yard. All right, they had plants. They had all kinds of foliage surrounding their entire setup. That they had their bay where they, out back, where like almost like a graveyard for vehicles. You know what I'm saying? Where they did all their work and stuff, their maintenance. They had plant life surrounding the inside of the fence, and they had grass all over. So their yard, even though it wasn't Vegas, because my aunt lives in Arizona, so I know they don't have green grass at all in Arizona. You really have to keep up your yard in order to have grass. Well, they obviously do that. All right. And this is the second thing. So my girl was watching a podcast with the interviewer, the main caller. It was a small time YouTube channel, but it was a local guy. And it was said to be the only guy that they let go back and actually look at the landing zone where the craft actually touched down. Okay? He was asking questions. And eventually, the 911 caller came out and said that a couple, 2 to 3 weeks after the initial incident, the cops came back, all right? The cops came back. Okay, cool. I am in front of it. The cops came back and said, hey, we would like to set up some cameras around here just in case some paparazzi or some enthusiasts decide they want to see the landing zone and they, we want to protect you. We don't want any intruders or any paparazzi to try and sneak onto your land. So we're going to set up cameras. So that was one of the arguments I saw as well. Why would there be cameras set up like that? Well, that's because they were set up like that intentionally by the police, the local police. So my initial thought of that is, right away, who is smart enough to actually think that if a creature or an entity did get left behind for some reason, that they might come back to the landing zone? That's next level thought right there. And instantly I'm thinking Men in Black, Gov, CIA type level thinking. That ain't the local cops thinking that thought. The cops ain't out there to protect them. They put those cameras in there to do just what they did. In my opinion. This is just my opinion. They put those cameras there to do just what they did. Catch one of those. Coming back to the landing site. Coming back to where they crashed. Or, I don't believe they crashed myself. So the cops come, set the cameras up. Then a week later, the kid said they came back and said, hey, those cameras are faulty. They're not working properly. How convenient. We want to grab them and replace them with other cameras. Well, at that point, they already knew what was on them. That's why they went back to grab them, in my opinion. They knew that this was on it. Because somebody said something about this being from months ago in Pennsylvania or something like that. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't miss a beat on videos like this. This would have been all over the internet if it was over 2-3 months old. I would have already seen this. No doubt about it. This is not old. This is not old footage. It says right here the date, 5/26/2023. A couple weeks before it all got let out. So, if this was old, it would have already gone viral. In my opinion, this was leaked. Could have been the local PD. Could have been Gov on purpose. But at the end of the day, I believe this to be authentic. People are saying CGI. I just don't see it. Look at the striations in his muscle. Look at the makeup of his being. You can see the bone structure. You can see he has a tail. And if you look closely, you can see it even has a little bit of fur on it. Like raggy, like kind of ratchy fur. You can't CGI that, y'all. I feel, in my opinion, you can't CGI that. I know a lot of people fake as hell, fake as this and that. I watch a lot of these videos, y'all. And this one, and then another thing that seems legit to me is his movement. His movement is uncanny. How do you even in your mind think that it'll move that way? How do you even construct that? You feel me? And his look, the tail. I mean, who would have thought it would have had a tail? I mean, that stuff is just the only other thought I had, right? The only other thought I had at the time was this. Okay? Could that be a rake? Or could it be, I wouldn't even want to say a Wendigo. I'd lean more towards like a rake-like being. But that would be the only other option I could see. Could it be one of the, the national park creatures? Could it be one of the creatures that were created as a, super soldier gone wrong and they just dropped it in the middle of the woods? That would be the only other option I could see with this. But the timing of it and everything, it's just too perfect. Is it a gray? I don't know. This one right here, I've never even remotely seen nothing like it. Nothing like it, y'all. This one's wild. It's truly one of the most, it's almost cringy. It's freaking disturbing in a way, right? That's why they didn't want this type of stuff right here to get out. And if you haven't heard, I've heard that the family's gone completely silent, 100% silent after this. Right? Somebody's told me tall whites. It's a tall white? Okay. I've been hearing tall whites a lot. Yeah, it reminds a lot of people of the mantis insect race. Sure. I feel like the mantis would be a little more buggy. But let's check this out. Let's check this video out. Now, I'm going to say before I play this that this call, when it was made, was not pertaining to this creature. Okay? Because they're hitting it with fact checks left and right on Instagram. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff get hit with fact checks on Instagram. So, I actually took down on my other, not YouTube, but Facebook, I took down my second video just because I didn't want to get hit with the fact check, because I did say in that video that this is actually, I thought was a real video. That's, again, my opinion. Doesn't mean it's absolute fact. Doesn't mean somebody didn't render it at home with AI. But y'all, this is next level shit. It's so next level that it has to be exactly that. Like something we wouldn't expect, right? Something that CGI couldn't make up, something that even AI couldn't make up. Because it's real. It's the truth is stranger than fiction type thing. You feel me? It's the truth is stranger than fiction type thing. Just watch its movements.
Okay, where is this on your property?
I mean, y'all, that's wild. And see, at first I couldn't tell. Some people were saying it could be a suit. I thought it looked like a layer of fuzz. And look at its neck, y'all. Look at its neck, dude. You would not want to have a run-in with this thing. No way.
There's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard.
And that movement right there, when it looks back, the instinctual, it's on point. It's hearing everything. It's on pins and needles. It's scared. You know what I'm saying? He says large eyes, and I thought he said tiny eyes, but then somebody told me he said shiny eyes. And just when it looks up, right there. I have other video of it where you can actually see. I'm zoomed in. Peep this out. You can actually see when he takes a breath, you can see his cheeks puff out like just a little bit. Or he goes, yeah, he's like breathing out. And you can see his cheeks puff out like he's like, like breathe. So, and it almost looks like he's breathing hard. Almost like he can breathe our oxygen content, but maybe where he's from, it's a little higher. Possibly. That's just a theory. But this video right here blew my mind. And then somebody said something online in my comments as far as, it's kind of funny. Could it be a pet of the actual ETs? By the way it acts, it almost acts like feral in a way, right? Feral. I couldn't imagine seeing something like this in my yard, y'all. Like, my first instinct would be to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Which would actually not be the good thing to do. But naturally, you're just going to want to, get rid of it, y'all. It's gnarly.
This on your property.
Let's check this out.
In my backyard.
Let's see here.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
See, this one's actually,
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard.
but you can actually see
I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They're like.
That was really zoomed in right there. Hold on, one more right quick. And
A joke. This is.
I want to go through the.
Where is this
footage,
on your
too,
property?
with the fork trucks with you guys? Of the fork trucks. And the aliens in them. Like, I've had a couple people hit me up, like friends and family hit me up, that are normally really critical of this stuff, and they're even somewhat convinced, like, holy shit, dude. Like, they even saw them on the. This is a good video right here. Hold on, let me get up here. There we go.
Where is this on your property?
In my backyard.
Notice its structure, his skeletal structure. How it has like a rigid, hard bone running down each side of its back. Almost like 3 spines. It's not that, but it's very fit. It's skinny, but you can just tell it's a solid being. It's solid. and its chest mass is insane. And its traps, its neck, I mean, it's powerful, y'all. And this being could be, to me, 7 to 8 feet tall all day. This being could be 7 to 8 feet tall, easy standing straight up. But the way he crouches in that feral manner, that thing is in nature, it runs our shit. Like, you don't stand a chance against that thing. And when he takes off after you, he ain't running on two, bro. I guarantee you he's getting down on all fours and he's getting it. You know what I'm saying? Just by the way he is right here.
I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually weird.
So
You're terrified of it.
2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
It's like taking breaths.
Correct, and they're very large. 9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know. They look like...
And the blinking. The blinking is another thing that I look at and I'm like, the blinking. Continually blinking like he does. That's stuff that's just hard to, it's really hard to fake to me. You know?
They're like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes and...
See its cheek?
And they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight, and I'm fixing a truck
Thing I was
in my
not
backyard.
expecting at all. But look at that. Look at this bone structure. Look at the right side and the left. Right, left. It's like his shoulder blade and his side. Like how we kind of have it's open here on the sides. How we're like vulnerable in a way. Humans are vulnerable right here. Like if you have a bulletproof vest, right? It's covering front to back. But one of the places you can get poked is right here. In your rib cage. And up under your arm and shit and like that. You get poked right there, you're done. This guy, he looks like he's got a piece of bone solid running all the way down his side and then all the way up his shoulder blade on both sides. And then you see down the middle, it's got like a spine. Obviously, it's got a spine, but it's like his spine, it's rigid. You know what I'm saying? And it's running down his back to his tail. Now, y'all already know there's humans with tails. There's humans with tails. So, to me, it's obviously humanoid, but an alteration of humanoid. And obviously, it's not a very good, not to be like weird or anything about it, but like, you obviously can't see any like, you know, like privates, like genitalia or nothing like that. Is it, you know, because you've all heard the theory of a guy time travels in the future and he travels so far that we've evolved into this species that cannot breed anymore. We can no longer breed. Well, you know, could that be a variation? You know, it's just thoughts, you know what I mean? I don't believe that, but it's kind of funny how he kind of matches up to theories I've heard throughout the whole, you know, alien human thing. This is going to go down in history, y'all. They're already out here, you know, like I said they would. There's one place, I think it was the Washington Post. It's almost as if they saw my video too, y'all. That's the weird thing. It's almost as if they saw my video because they totally went in and they debunked it. And it was the only one to do it. It was the only paper to do it. And they said, oh, that was a CGI rendering. But you know what? That's a quick, easy cop-out. That's easy to say. Yeah. There's always going to be somebody. You know, what I find is, like, the people who don't even give it the time of day are the people that are just scared of the thought. They're scared of the idea of a being like that. Top of the food chain, like, you know, top tier in nature, evolutionary being like this. I mean, yeah, it's hideous, you know. It's not very pretty, but at the end of the day, this thing somehow has craft, that can fly at the speed of light and possibly landed it in somebody's backyard. Why this one stayed behind, I'm not sure. But if you watch, when we go watch the video of the backyard of the creatures in the loaders, right? I go through and I notice multiple different species in that. It's not just one. I thought I saw 3 or 4. So is this some Guardians of the Galaxy type shit? Like, are there multiple different beings that travel together? You never know.
At this point, I'm only with my brother,
Yeah, it's
and I
wild,
hear
man.
something fall from the
The only
sky.
reason they have 2 different shots.
I turn around,
two
the
different
only
sides
thing
is 'cause
I
somebody
see
inverted the
is a big
video.
light falling from the
This
sky,
is just one
and
shot
moments
from one
after, I
side.
feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. So
You
when
can
that
see it knows it's alive. Dude, that thing would be terrifying to run into. You can see it knows it's alive and it's intelligent, but at the same time, it's like so in its own little world. It's like instinctual, but yet, like I say, feral. Like you'd hope he'd run away if you saw him. You'd hope he'd run away if you saw him, because, like I said, you better have the glizzy on you if you want to run with him, or some bear pepper spray or something. All right, hold on here. All right, y'all. So that's that. I said what I said about it. I mean, I guess I should ask, what do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think of it. Do you believe that's legit? Do you believe it's possible that it's real? Do you think that it's fake? I've seen some people say fake. Yeah, no more running away from home this day and age, kids. That's big facts. Fake? Okay. Yeah, it's real. That's where I'm at with it. Fake? All right. Hey, I see it. I'll hear it all. I think it's legit too. I think it's legit. I know it's a tough call. I don't know either. You know, I'm like wagering, like, I'd bet on an 80-20, you know what I mean? 80-20. But you guys got to understand, something's going to come out and say it's fake. You got to already know that. The family's already silenced. That's because after that leaked, it's next level shit now. It's different. You know what I mean? So they're going to try and rip the rug out from under that thing, because that terrifies people. The thought of that scares people. Okay? What's crazy is, I meant to tell you this earlier, one of the top comments on my Facebook, y'all, one of the top comments on my Facebook, and I thought it was so cool, man. This is what I love about what I do. I love reading y'all's comments. I love getting y'all messages. At the very top of my comments on Facebook, I should go try and find it. Let me see if I can go find it for you guys. This gentleman, here we go. Let's see here if I could get to it. Bing. Let's see if I can get to it right quick. It's cooler reading the actual account. All right, so I'm live. Yes, we know. Should be this one. All right, hold on. That was loud. Whew. Where's the comments at? Comments. Let's go right here. He should be most relevant. Hold on. God, it's going to be hard to find. Okay, anyway, this gentleman says, I'm a big fan, Yeah, that one guy, a couple people were kind of like, nah. AI can do amazing jobs. Yeah, AI's good these days. It is. Oh, I can't seem to find it. So anyway, what he said was 40 years ago, everybody thought his grandfather was going wacky. All right? Because he kept drawing these creatures that he was seeing out behind their farm in the woods. And not just one, he said he kept seeing numerous of these creatures, numbers of them, almost as if they were running in a pack. Well, he would draw these pictures and people would think, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Well, he remembers seeing the pictures when he was a kid. And I told him to send me one. I really want to see if he'll send me one. But he said that his grandfather's pictures were almost to a T what that thing is right there. Those accounts right there, when I hear stuff like that, he didn't just go in my comments and make that up. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he didn't just make that up. Why would he? Doesn't make sense. So, accounts like that verify things like this are why I love what I do. I love it. I live for it. That's the stuff I see that helps me kind of sway one way or the other. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, after this too, I got some good stuff for you guys tonight, man. I got a whole plethora of videos lined up that I've been saving just for this live. Like crazy shit. All right. Theories that blow your mind after we get done with the Vegas stuff. Now, this right here was some of the Vegas video that the mother took. You know, when they're in the back and they went through the fence and they started recording. This is like zoomed in. I kind of I messed with the color and stuff and tried to kind of, as best as I could, because it's no matter what, y'all. Why is it? I mean, they got to have a frequency. These things got to have a frequency, because every time somebody tries to record them, you cannot see them very well at all. You can see something, an outline, but they're very hard to actually be totally clean, crisp, visible with a camera on a phone. Somehow their frequency is throwing them off in some way, shape, or form, just like Bigfoot. Why you can never get a damn video of Bigfoot. All right, so I posted these in my videos as well. Okay, hold on here. There's not going to be any sound on these. So, this is after, hold up here. Let me show you here. This is after, right here.
Eso.
This is after
Cáelo,
Mom
cherro,
walks
que
in.
chute. Cáelo, cherro.
This is one of the videos that first went viral. Right here. Hold on here. Where you at? Right there.
Cáelo. Uy, chetar. Chite cao.
So, as you can see, they have a lot of grass.
Cae, cherro. Firmizarle, sale.
And you can tell they're freaked out about something.
Firmizar, porque no, cherro, que canundaré la.
So, okay. Right here. This is one of the images that people were really talking about. Right there. That thing right there. That being, I guess, if you will. Right there. They're saying that's one. All right. Now, that's not the first one I noticed. The first one I noticed is right here. Look at that face. Very tall. You know what I said they remind me of? They remind me of the giant statues on Easter Island. The way their face is structured, man. Yeah, she's real wavy.
Forklift o camión.
You can almost even see entities up in the possibly trees. But yeah, here, you can see him. You can see him pretty damn vividly, man. This one right here, this guy right here is a wild looking, y'all. Creepy looking. But you can see the movement. You can see movement. And you can see right here. See this outline? And you guys, one thing I'll say, I want to say this too. Let me just tell you this. After going on Google Earth, and if you really, really look at Google Earth and know what you're looking for, and you actually start seeing the faces, okay? Don't listen to the whole, pareidolia thing. Just ignore it. Actually look at the faces on Google Earth. Zoom into the land, watch the landscape. You will see a whole plethora. It's not even fathomable the amount of different beings that are in this said realm. And they've all, like a large mass majority of them, have been on this planet at one time or another. Whether it was a great Earth war, whether it was, here just to maybe live for a while, you know what I mean? But there's been a lot of beings on this planet, okay? So you can see that, and then you can see this right here. If you go back, okay, you see that one, and these two do have the same. This one right here, and this one right here. Y'all know what else they kind of remind me of? I know this sounds crazy and it sounds weird as shit. The Simpsons. Doesn't that not look like a big old freaking, like either a nose or his jawline or his mouth? I mean, dude, you can't make this. I mean, it sounds crazy, I know, but these beings are weird, bro. They're different. And it's like the elite have to know about this stuff. The government has to know about this stuff. But you can see the movement in here. See how he reaches over? Right here, this guy? He reaches his arm over and does something over here. Watch this. He reaches. See that? He's just chilling. And then all of a sudden, boom, he reaches right there. And then there's another being right here. Y'all, it's weird to say. It's weird to say. It looks like a damn freaking dog. Doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but that looks like a freaking hound, bro. And you can see right here, it's actually almost even, you got to really look and you got to know what you're looking for, kind of. Like I said, I'm familiar with Google Earth, so I see a lot of weird faces and weird things and stuff. That looks like it's got a brow here, a nose right there, and jowls right here. Jowls. And it looks over. Now, why are they in the loader? That's the next question, right? Even that looks like it could be something right there, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But that's the next question, right? And then looks like there's a being back here. So this is a whole crew. It's got to be, right? It's almost got to be. And why are they in the loaders? I don't get that. The only thing I could think, maybe harnessing energy, trying to, maybe thinking they could fly them. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at that face right there, though. And then something like on her head, like her hair's wacky. And it's almost as if they're still like slightly stealth moded.
Yeah,
And you can tell they're seeing them, but what's weird is they don't seem to be reacting to the people. Is it possible that maybe they thought these were our craft? That maybe they could manipulate them into flying out? Could be. But this guy right here, this guy's wild, y'all. Whatever that may be. I don't know. It's hard to say, fam. It's so tough with the video, y'all. It's just so tough with the video. Did y'all see too? I don't see him as threats either. I agree. Did you all see too the initial video that the girl on TikTok shared with the shadow that came in? That was wild too. I shared that. That was one of the first videos I shared, actually. That was actually good footage right there. That was wild. And then that one dude that analyzed the video and saw something what looked to be, that reminded me of actually the first creature I showed, like his hands through the fence. That was early on stuff. He actually did a pretty good job here. Hold on, let me get this video to me real quick, and I'll share it with you. This kid did a damn good job of analyzing this video. Right here. Bing.
Okay, so this is a very slowed down screen recording I took, and I know...
Pause it. Turn it down for you guys so it doesn't blow your eardrums out. And monitor output. Boom. Yeah, this guy does a good job. This is some of the first footage that kind of went viral on TikTok. I'm convinced
okay, so this is a very slowed down screen recording I took, and I know everybody is trying to find the aliens in front of these guys, but I noticed something insane, and I want everybody, my two friends...
Let me expand this real quick for y'all. That shadow is wild. And now, is it one of them in stealth mode? I have no idea. Hold on, I don't want to get too tall here, but you can see right there. You can see right there something seems to be looking through. And no, I agree, though. If they were hostile, it would have been a murk fest. It would have been over with before it started. They didn't want no fighting or death at all. They were definitely decent beings. Right here. I want you to see the shadow entity that comes in here. I believe it has something to do with the ETs.
To take a look down, pay attention to two areas. We're going to look down here on the bottom right behind their fence and right up there. But we're going to first start down here because I found something crazy. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to what I believe is the creepiest part of this video. And I'm going to point out two things you need to pay attention to right here, which is the head. And if you look really close, there's actually a shiny black eye. And what you will see in about a minute is a hand. That, I believe, is some creature, non-human, crouching down. And that was its eye I just pointed at. And I want you to pay attention to...
Yeah, right here. Look at that.
What appear to be fingers running up the fence, as if it's kneeling down or something and peering out. And then there you go.
Peeking.
See the fingers? And
they're
I think
way
I go
more...
back and forth
they're
a
so
couple
ahead
times
of
here,
us
but it looks to me
instinctually,
like...
guys.
There's a little other or a big creature looking through the fence on the bottom there, crouched down. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but you tell me.
There's definitely movement there.
And then there's his fingers going right up and down, up and down. Just looks like almost a human hand crawling up the fence. And at the very beginning, you see an eye. And I think right here I show you the fingers. This is
Wild.
my really poor attempt
How
at drawing
stealthy is that
over
thing,
the
though,
fingers,
man?
but you
He's
get it.
right by them. They have no
So
clue.
what's really interesting about this is it is happening next to them and kind of in front of them, but behind a fence. Yeah, the fingers are really crazy. So I
And
think I'm gonna
that's
show it one
also
more time
why
and then
they
I zoom
chose
out
that
and I'll
place
show
to
you what
land
even
because
made
of the
me
fence
realize this
in
was here.
backyard.
So, okay, so see how many different times we're looking. So what I noticed was if you
And then
look
the
at the top
shadow
right, look at the
entity.
top right now, there's actually
It's
a
wild.
shadow figure. It almost looks like it's a dense, shadowy figure comes
You can't
into
really see it very
frame.
well.
If you're looking
having some
right,
dark.
at the 3 fence posts, if you're looking at the top right of them, you're actually going to see something that
There you
looks
go. That was
like
good right there.
a shadow figure that has density,
He
and it's only
pops
there for about a
out. It's
minute.
density
And
for sure.
when it walks in the frame, I think I'm just going to highlight it right here. I was doing the best I could on my phone. I noticed there was movement below it, so I don't know if maybe the whatever creature was projecting a shadow up above it or something.
Isn't that
Let's
wild?
see,
How
there's
quick
the
he
eye
moved.
and the
Oof.
hands, but it also looks like there's
Oof.
another aspect to it, which is that shadow that you can clearly see walking.
Very
I know everybody's looking
interesting.
for the alien in front of them, but there's one hiding next to them.
Yeah, bet. That was actually good footage right there. That was good spot in that. Not very many people would have saw that. That's one thing when you see footage like this, you guys, always look in the weirdest spots. That's when you'll catch something. Don't focus on where the video's focused. Look around the area. That's when you catch stuff like that. Just like the entities in the loaders. That was some weird stuff. But I wanted to show you. So that's the entity, the shadow entity. And then you obviously saw the video of the thing crashing that I shared in my first set of videos. Those ones didn't go as viral as the being that was caught on camera. Right here. I'm glad I always got my phone accessible. And you just simply cannot beat the airdrop. Airdrop is the shit. And this sounds so intriguing. Which one is it here? 1204. I think it's this one. Yep. .1204 MOV. Boom. Boom. So, if that was a crash, guys, if that was legitimately a crash, wouldn't you think that would have been a lot louder? A lot louder. Now, that did sound like some sort of craft. Absolutely. Did it land hard? Sure. It landed pretty hard. But if that was a crash, y'all, that would have been a lot louder. It damn near should have shook the camera, especially coming in as fast as it did. To me, they landed. Roughly, yes, but they landed. I believe that they landed because there's been accounts throughout history of this. One of them was on the Nile River. Alien beings were flying down following the Nile, and they had to kind of stop off, land, do some quick maintenance. Then they took off. Well, I wouldn't even call it quick. It was 2 to 4 hours worth. They said in the account I read. And then while the people watched, they just did their maintenance casually. Everybody just kind of peered, watched, and then they just took off. Gone. Now that could have been the case with these. Maybe they were in the loaders looking for parts. Who knows? You know, do we share tech? I'm sure to an extent. Absolutely. I mean, I know there's a lot of people. There are critics out here saying it's fake, y'all. But man, the more evidence that mounts up for me, I don't think they're lying. What do you guys think? Yes, the crash happened 2 weeks prior to the alien in the backyard incident. Yes, it did. Absolutely. I think that's where people are getting somewhat confused. The initial alien craft landing there was quite a while ago. It was like early May. Early May. I've even heard late April. They investigated it for a month, and then all of a sudden, for some reason now, they let the story go wild, like wildfire. I'm not sure they expected it to go this crazy, but it's gone super viral, and it's just wild right now. A lot of people, some people do say it's Project Bluebeam. Very well could be. I mean, a hologram of that creature, that's pretty finite, but it's possible. May 1st. Okay. Okay. So here's the deal on the fences being different, because I noticed that too. To me, their place, it looked solid and nice, but if you look at their fence, it's pretty rickety, right? It's pretty rickety. So who's to say that they just didn't have a section of fence that was just different? You could run one whole side different. Either that or it possibly could have been a neighboring house's fence hopping into their yard. You know what I'm saying? I agree, though. I did notice that. Yes, the fence is different. The only other thing I heard was this footage could possibly have been, somebody said something about Pennsylvania. Some guy in Pennsylvania. But y'all, it just, the timestamp on the video and all that, they plant stuff. They plant bots in these comments just to swerve you, just to sway you one way or the other. They plant bots in the comments just to say, oh, that's from this, that, and that was over 2 years ago. No, because I see every video like that. That video would never, ever slip between my fingers. If that was 2 years old, I'd have saw it 2 years ago. That would go viral, even if it is CGI or whatever some people say it is. That video would go viral as soon as it hit the freaking waves. And I never saw that video one time. So I do not believe that video is old at all. I believe it's authentically, most likely, from Vegas. And man, we got ETs, y'all. They're wild. I'm kind of excited. It's freaking crazy. It's really crazy. I never really thought it would go this far. Now, here's the question you got to ask yourself. Is this planned? Is it a distraction? What is it about? Why now? Why is it going on now? What's happening? Kind of odd. You got to think like that. Always be skeptic of why it's happening now. What's going on behind the scenes? What could be going on behind the scenes? Because it seems to be a lot at once in just one case. You know, I believe there's been way more severe alien encounters in this world. I believe that there's been people who are, I believe that there's people scoffing at this because their alien encounter puts it to shame. Okay? Well, it's timing. It's all timing. You know what I'm saying? It's all timing. Is this family getting paid? I don't know. Could be, maybe not. You'd think they'd somehow figure out how to monetize it, right? But no, it's been a cool thing to keep reading on. Of course, you get people out there who do little recreations and, you know, the internet trolls and mess it up. But so far, actually, this has been a pretty clean event. I haven't heard anything else come out lately. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Haven't heard of any, you know, government officials really speaking out about it yet. Who knows if they will? It's hard to say. But nevertheless, man, it's freaking awesome. And it's been a wild ride to watch and see. I think it's legit. I agree. I think it's legit, y'all. I think it is legit. Sell some t-shirts, absolutely. Absolutely. By not using a highlighter. I just trolled you guys for not using a highlighter. So the cops who handled it, what? Stop it. Krista Hakila said the news said the family just vanished afterwards, and Dr. Greer said the cops who handled it disappeared as well. You gotta be shitting me, man. So you want to see, what do you want to see? You want to see the initial video? He said for the people in the back. Hold on here. Let me find it again here. That's the loader. ET unloader. Where's the good one? Oh, poo. Where's it at? I got so many videos now. Here, hold on. No. I think it's... Try this one. No.
This on your property.
In my back.
I think it is this one. Hold on. There it is. That's one of them. This one I zoomed in, so it's very distorted. No.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot. 9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know. They're like...
Okay, so this.
No. Where is it? I got so many videos here. I'm just going to start. I'm going to have to start removing them. Anyway, because I got a bunch more to show you guys real quick. No. The one in the loader wasn't near as intriguing as the one outside, man. That shit was nuts. I can't believe that, though. The family's disappeared and the cops too. Dude, that ain't right, though. That ain't right. They better not do nothing to him like that, man. That is not right. That's bull, bro. If they take them out like that, that's beyond bullshit, dude. Beyond bullshit. That should not be stood for. Period. Sorry, but it shouldn't. Bullcrap. They can't help it. There's no way. They better have just took him and put him in like witness protection or something like that. You do not deserve to be hurt for that. Period. Hold on here. Oh, there it is. God dang. Okay. Right here, fam. I'll just re-scroll down here.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
It was awesome. This is really clear. CCTV cam. Sharp image. When you zoom in, it looks awesome. And you can see the dates. You can see, 526, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. His tail. I mean, dude, it is cool.
An 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Speaker just be too loud. Hold up.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects.
See, maybe that's an maybe that's an exosuit. See the darkness on him? See the darkness? It almost even crawls up to the midway point of his dome. It looks to me like hair, but maybe it's his exosuit.
That are in your backyard?
And you see how when he flung? Watch this tuft on his shoulder. Watch this tuft on his shoulder. See that right there? See that little tuft? And dude, what is that in the middle of his forehead too right there? You see that? It's really interesting. But it looks like his legs even might have hair. Just dude is a freaking it's a machine, bro.
Correct.
An instinctual, feral,
like
acting.
Correct, and they're very
the way it breathes is like thing looks like it'll run 40 miles an hour. Easy.
10 foot, I don't know, they look like aliens to us.
I'd love to see it open up.
Big eyes, they have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
It looks like hair to me. You see that? How it flung? That's hair. It's gotta be. And see, those are just details that are not made up.
Okay.
You can't make that shit up. Awesome. Very awesome. Like I said, for entertainment purposes only, though, I'm not claiming that video to be true. This is all for fun. You never know. I'm not saying it's 100% real. Nobody knows for sure. Just a very intriguing video nonetheless. Just very cool and definitely an entertaining factor for sure about it. So, all right. So that wraps up the Vegas aliens. Now I just want to go through some videos with you guys that I just found. You know how I like to do that. I like to throw videos at you that I found captivating online. I share some of these on my YouTube shorts. I share some of them. One thing I did want to talk to you guys about, though, is the fires. The fires. Did anybody see the map of Quebec? It did behave like it was running. It did behave like it was running for sure. It kind of does resemble the beings from Avatar. I could see that. I'm getting your comments super late. What's happening? Man, costume. Why would you go to that? I just don't see. Dude, who's going to fit in that guy's costumes? Do you see how skinny his legs were? I mean, anything's possible, I guess, but. Yes, thanks for subscribing. Oh, Stream Elements. That's cool. That's what's up. Saying what's up. All right. What's been put on my Twitter? The cat people kind of does act like a cat. Yeah, so I shot it. Weird foam? No shit. Yeah, isn't that wild, the Quebec video? I was just going to show you guys that. Peep this. You tell me. And I'm not saying anything without saying anything. You tell me. Hold up, I want to show y'all something else. I'm saying things without saying it. You all already know. Hold on here. Definitely want to show you this video. Well, where's that? I have a picture of it. That's a good video. Oh, come on. Hold on, it must be a little higher up. If not, we'll have to just go to my YouTube to grab it. Because I know I posted it there. That was a good one. I got a couple TikTok videos to show y'all too that are good. Okay. Hold on here. Looks like we might have to go to my YouTube. Hold on. Just in light of that whole Bing, the video from Quebec. Where are you at? Here we go. Hold on, you guys might not be able to see it. Hold on. I want to make sure you guys can see it here. I got to get the screen capture up top here. Yeah, you guys can't see shit. Hold on. And bing. At least I thought about it before playing the whole video. I hate when I keep doing that. You're just going to get X'd out. I love Max, but sometimes just the way they navigate things is funny. Okay. Felt the ground shake. What a crazy thing to capture, too. That thing is powerful. You know what that reminds me of? Remember when Tesla said that he came up with a death ray? Remember when Tesla said that he came up with a sort of death ray that could take out entire enemy forces of airplanes, one right after the other, incinerate them in the sky by the thousands? There it is. There it is. What is this? Is it in my trash? Okay. So there's that. I wanted you guys to see this one too. There's one here, dude. Yeah, you can see right here though, real quick. All of a sudden, whoosh. And they're going to try and say what? Warming of the something? I'm not saying. But I might be saying, you know? All right, hold on.
Below, complex circle
This was shot
countryside,
in the 90s, y'all.
rational explanations aren't quite so easy to come
90s. Say it's some of the
below,
first
complex circle
video ever.
countryside, rational explanations aren't quite so easy to come by.
Absolutely the first video ever of crop circles, but some of the earliest video of craft. It's controversial, of course, as is everything that has to do with this stuff. This stuff is pretty cool.
Countryside, rational explanations aren't quite so easy to come by.
I'm going to turn it off so I don't get copyright hit. Check this out. This is wild. just put down crop circles. And it's wild how they do it. They're such elaborate designs. Pretty good stuff there. That's old school footage right there. I know I ended up sharing that one. I want you guys to hear this theory, and I want your 2 cents on it right here. Now, this is a little longer, so bear with me. This is a little longer. Bear with me here. But it is a very interesting perspective that I have never, ever even remotely thought about or heard. And everybody should hear it. This will blow your mind.
So look at CNN. They're gonna say some real good shit in here. Shit that I be getting in trouble for. But just tell me if you catch anything that's kind of very interesting. You should write down some stuff too. Check this out.
State of London and the Vatican, a third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart of Washington. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. A sobering study of the signed treaties and charters between Britain and the United States exposes a shocking truth. The United States has always been, and still is, a British Crown colony. King James I was famous not for just changing the Bible into the King James Version, but for signing the first Charter of Virginia in 1606. That charter granted America's British forefathers a license to settle and colonize America. The charter also guaranteed that future kings and queens of England would have sovereign authority over all the citizens and colonized land in America stolen from the Indians. After America declared its independence from Great Britain, the Treaty of 1783 was signed. That treaty specifically identifies the King of England as the Prince of the United States and contradicts the belief that America won the War of Independence. Although King George III of England gave up most of his claims over his American colonies, he kept his right to continue receiving payment for his business venture of colonizing America. If America had really won the War of Independence, they would never have agreed to pay debts and reparations to the King of England. When Congress passed the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, the U.S. President was made subservient to the King of England. The 13th Amendment is called the Title of Nobility Amendment and forbids U.S. presidents and their officials from using royal titles like king or prince or baron. For some mysterious reason, the 13th Amendment, which was ratified in 1810, no longer appears on current copies of the Constitution. America's blood-soaked War of Independence against the British bankrupted America and turned its citizens into permanent debt slaves of the king. In the War of 1812, the British torched and burned to the ground the White House and all U.S. government buildings and destroyed ratification records of the U.S. Constitution. 1 century later, a corrupt U.S. Congress committed the biggest theft in world history. They passed Paul Warburg's Federal Reserve Act in 1913, handing over America's gold and silver reserves and total control of America's economy to the Rothschild banksters. Most Americans still believe that the Fed, or Federal Reserve, is the government. It is not. The Fed is a privately owned banking system whose majority Class A shareholders are the Rothschilds, Warburgs, Kuhn and Loeb, J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, Israel Seif, and the Lehman Brothers. This private banking cartel is the Fed and is never audited and never pays taxes. They print and design America's money, which displays their symbols of an Egyptian pyramid, a Masonic all-seeing eye, and the words, "In God we trust." Who exactly is the God they trust? They also collect American taxpayers' money through the IRS. Then they loan it back again with interest to pay for roads, bridges, and other public. Most U.S. citizens believe that the United States is a country and that the President is the most powerful man on earth. The United States is not a country. It is a corporation, and the President is President of the Corporation of the United States. He and his elected officials work for the corporation, not for the American people. Since the United States is a corporation, who owns the corporation of the United States? Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen and whose land is called Crown Land, the United States is just another crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia. The secretive Brotherhood of Freemasons laid the Washington obelisk's cornerstone in 1848 and contributed 22 Masonic memorial stones. 250 Masonic lodges financed the Washington Monument obelisk, including the Knights Templar Masonic Order. At the heart of London city-state is a 187-ton, 69-foot-tall Egyptian obelisk called Cleopatra's Needle. It was transported from Egypt and erected on the banks of the River Thames. In Vatican City, another Egyptian obelisk towers high above St. Peter's Square.
So what y'all think of that one? Huh? Is that wild or what? That one threw me for a loop, y'all. Never won the war, huh? What? What? Is that wild or what? That one threw me for a hella loop. I was like, CNN reported that? What? I know, that's worth researching, ain't it? It's worth researching. And I've been hearing that a lot more and more. The Corporation of America. The Corporation of America. I've been hearing that more and more lately. It definitely makes one think. It absolutely does. Okay, I got some more good for you. I always like to throw a random plethora of stuff at yous.
The buildings in which we just saw and how heavy they were, right?
With this video, thought it was pretty intriguing. This is us today attempting at putting a pyramid brick on a truck, a pyramid-sized brick on a truck with an excavator and transporting it.
tons and tons of stones. Well, here's a stone that probably weighs about 20 tons and can barely move from a truck, right? You're trying to move that, the truck's moving, everything's falling, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And especially, let's say these buildings were built in the 1800s or 1700s when there were only about 1,000 people and none of this technology existed. Well, that's another good question. How on earth did all of those things get built, right? Or moved? Or something like this, right? Or something like this. I think it goes to show that when we look into the past, things were very, very advanced, but we were told that we were supposedly, like I said, running around on horses and wagons and on... So we're going to go back to 1893 Chicago, and this is not the Chicago in which I know, right? The Chicago I know does not have statues like this and look anything like this. But this is what Chicago looked like before it was reset, right? The fires that we heard about in Chicago and all those things, they were removing all of this. Look at this detail. This is a completely different city in which we know of today. Because look at this. Look at the architecture. Look at the design. Think of how hard it would be to create all of this, right? We can barely make a little bean and wrap it in mirrored paper, let alone statues like this made out of copper, right? Look at this archway. Look at the detail here. This is in Chicago. This is old world history which is not taught about, right? They keep us in the dark. They don't teach us about our true potential and how there used to be a unified, advanced society which built like this all over the world.
Unified. Unified. Keywords. Unified. Not oppressed. Unified. Just keep your eyes open.
In the early 1900s, a series of remarkable stone structures were...
This one was a good one. Oh, and actually, I just found out because my girl follows the witness for the aliens on TikTok. His name's Angel. She said that they haven't disappeared. He just got online not too long ago and said that they haven't disappeared. My family's here. And that he said he wishes he never would have said a word about any of it because it's totally like ruining their lives. So that sucks. But they have not been disappeared. That's what he's telling people. So that's good.
In the early 1900s, a series of remarkable stone
This is a good one here.
In the early 1900s, a series of remarkable stone structures were discovered in remote locations around the world. These amazing artifacts, known as stone stargates, captivated the imagination of archaeologists, historians, and conspiracy theorists alike. Carved with intricate patterns and symbols, their true purpose remains shrouded in mystery. Ancient folklore, however, spoke of the stargates as devices used by civilizations from distant solar systems to travel across the cosmos. By the 1950s, almost all the stargates had vanished without a trace, fueling rumors of government cover-ups and hidden agendas. Some theorized the governments around the world systematically confiscated the stargates and concealed them in top-secret facilities. Their whereabouts remain unknown.
Could you imagine it, though? You know, when they talk about, so, God, my footage is, they talk about a Stargate, right? Similar to Stonehenge. A mini Stonehenge, if you will. And they talk about one being in Lake Michigan. And I've talked about this before. It's 40 feet underwater, 12 meters. So almost 40 feet underwater off the shore one of the shores of Lake Michigan, and they haven't disclosed the location. I've actually found it on Google Earth. I know right where it is. They found it 40 feet underwater, but then they found this carving of a mammoth on a stone, and they follow a path of cobblestones, like big old cobblestones though, that leads all the way back to shore on the Mitten. They follow this path of cobblestone across Michigan. It goes down into Lake Huron and then up into Canada. And you can't help but wonder if it is a breadcrumb trail for people at the end of a war of types, maybe a Great Earth War, if it wasn't a path that which they could follow before the Great Flood. Because they probably maybe knew it was coming or anticipated something like that would take place, something apocalyptic. So the good beings led a path to this Stonehenge in the water. Well, at that time, I don't believe it was quite underwater. At that time, I don't think it was underwater. That they could follow and then use this Stargate to get out of or off the land before it got flooded. That's just a theory of mine. Because you've seen those Stargates. I feel like that was legit and there was a lot of them. Spanning the globe. Or, you know, the Terra. Hold on here. This guy does a good job.
Didn't call him dinosaur, they called him dragon. The word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1840.
But anyway, it's getting showed again. It's good. Stargates. Yes, dragons right here.
Dragon. The word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1841. It's a brand new word in the dictionary. I got some old dictionaries and looked for the word dinosaur. Even in 1891, the word was not in the dictionary.
In 1891, the word dinosaur was not in the dictionary, fam. In 1891, you can't hear my mic? Really? Hold up. Mic, right there. Can you hear me now? Sorry. That's probably too far away. So in 1891, turn it up. Okay. Better? Might be this, too. Is that better? Okay, because I guess I get self-conscious because when I was like testing the mic out earlier and I was listening to myself, I could vividly hear myself breathing and I couldn't stand it. I don't like that. I was like, I don't want to seem like I'm like a heavy breather, so I'm like kind of like trying to breathe light, like, you know, it's weird. I just don't like hearing myself breathe. I was like, ugh, that's cringy. I don't want them to hear me breathing or something. So this mic I just got, this Shure mic, it's badass. It's a really good mic, but it picks up everything. Picks up everything.
They called him dragon.
But that's crazy. 1891. No dictionary had the word dinosaur. That's definitely something odd about that. This actually kind of convinced me that, because I used to kind of think about that, like, that I thought, no way dinosaurs did exist and so on and so forth. But I could believe that they were dragons instead.
Dragons. Bible mentions dragons 34 times. Even in the 1946 dictionary, listed as now rare. As the population of people began to...
Dragons was in the 1946 dictionary. Dragons. Listed as now rare in the 1946 dictionary, fam. Meaning that they still existed, but were rare. Right? We all breathe. I know. That's just me being a weirdo, I guess.
Grow after the flood, the population of dinosaurs began to go down. Because nobody wants to live next door to a dragon. How many grizzly bears are roaming loose in the woods right here in Bucks County? None, right? How many were there 400 years ago, you think? Probably a whole bunch of them. Gilgamesh is famous for slaying a dragon. Chinese legend tells about a guy named Yu. Says after the Great Flood, they surveyed the land of China and divided it into sections. He built channels to drain the water off to the sea and make the land livable again. Many snakes and dragons were driven from the marshland.
Isn't that wild? Listen to this story again, y'all. After the Great Flood. So how did they get placed there? Where did they go for the flood? A gentleman named Yu, after the Great Flood, went to China and dug massive trenches to drain the land. And that's when the dragons were pushed out of the marshes. That's crazy.
Famous for slaying a dragon. Chinese legend tells about a guy named Yu. Says after the Great Flood, they surveyed the land of China and divided it into sections. He built channels to drain the water off to the sea and make the land livable again. Many snakes and dragons were driven from the marshlands. This piece of pottery from Egypt shows two long-necked dinosaurs. Why would they put dragons and dinosaurs on different pieces of pottery that are found from ancient civilizations? What are these dragons? And the Bible talks about a fiery flying serpent. What is this? Herodotus in 400 BC reported the fiery flying serpents. I want to read that story sometime. The fiery flying... Anyway, in book of Job, it talks about out of his mouth, Leviathan, go burning lamps and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils go a smoke. Alexander the Great reported dragons when he conquered part of India. Saddam spent a fortune rebuilding the ancient city of Babylon. On the ancient Babylonian walls, which they rebuilt, they found carvings of lions and dragons. This is from 600 BC. How would they know about dragons in 600 BC? Some were still alive.
Yup.
Still lived with man. Why would they put dragons on the walls of the city, the Ishtar Gate in Babylon? It's over there. They didn't call them dinosaur. They called
over there right now if you want to go see it. I don't know if this is the same video or not. Hold on. I want to say it is. Unfortunately.
Didn't call them dinosaur, they called them dragon. The word dinosaur wasn't made up.
Pretty sure it is. Hold on. Dragons or dinos?
Dragon. The word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1841. It's a brand new word in the dictionary. I got some old dictionaries and looked for the word dinosaur. Even in 1891, the word was not in the dictionary. They called them dragons. Bible mentions dragons 34 times.
I didn't know the Bible mentioned dragons so much. Okay, since we saw that, we're going to move on. There's a good one here in a second. This is wild. I came across this one on...
We were off the coast of South Eleuthera.
Insta.
off the coast of South Eleuthera, headed out for a typical morning dive. We were off the coast of South Eleuthera, headed out for a typical morning dive. On the ride to the first dive of the morning, I spotted something flying which was making unusual, darting like flying patterns. After a couple minutes of watching it, it suddenly darted into the ocean, making a big splash. Me and 3 friends decided to dive where we saw it enter, and I can't even describe what we saw. We were off the coast of South Eleuthera, headed out for a typical morning dive. On the ride to the first dive of the morning, I spotted something flying which was making unusual, darting like flying patterns. After a couple minutes of watching it, it suddenly darted into the ocean, making a big splash. Me and 3 friends decided to dive where we saw it enter, and I can't even describe what we saw. We were off the coast of South Eleuthera, headed out for it.
Oh, I wanted to show you this. Pretty good video. This one's pretty blatant. Pretty wild if they're that powerful. Sometimes I swear during certain storms there's things fighting in the sky. This is a good one.
The average The average American is eating about 12 times as much food as they need. When we're doing this and we're stuffing our body with all of these fake foods that they're giving us now, our body never has time to thermogenically burn it off. So we've been lied to our whole life. When you start feeling hungry, that's not hunger. You don't have natural hunger like that. All humans eat is light, photons. The plants are light. Everything is literally light. Once you understand that, you understand that we need to charge, not fill ourselves. We don't need food, we need charging. You can literally charge by touching trees or grounding on the earth. There's many, many ways to get your energy that you need, and food is just a supplement. That's why there are low levels of photon, like the green leaves and stuff that we eat. Once you understand this, your whole life will change. Now, like I was saying, when you feel hunger, that's your body starting to eat off those things that are filling your lymph nodes and cancers and tumors, and you need to allow that to happen. That's why fasting is so important. Fast for a whole day. If you can fast for 3 days straight on just water, every cell in your body will regenerate. When you start back, you only need protein, fiber, and water. Protein, fiber, and water. Protein, proton, nutrient, neutron. Learn it. They've lied to you about everything you know.
Wild. Protein, proton, nutrient, neutron. What?
Sometimes you'll look outside and you'll see.
Always gotta toss in our boy once in a while. And I have been hearing that gentleman, What Lurks Beneath on YouTube, wants to do some sort of collab. I've heard you, buddy. And if you guys ever get in his lives or anything or chats, let him know. I've heard him. And I'll be getting with him.
Sometimes you'll look
sure
outside
if
and you'll see this
alive
golden sun in the
or
sky, and it's not
how
the
it's
sun, it's
gonna
planet
work,
Nibiru.
but
And then sometimes
he's
you'll
done
have the real sun
very
in the
well
sky.
for
Nibiru.
himself on the old tube, and I'm looking forward to working with him. He tells some very good stories. Did very well with his Park Ranger series. If you call it a series, you know, just kind of he just kind of concentrated on that for a nice period of time and did really well with it. I still don't have a 1,000,000 view video on YouTube. Riddle me that. Multiple 1,000,000 view videos on the book, not the tube.
Sometimes you'll look outside and you'll see this golden sun in the sky, and it's not the sun, it's planet Nibiru. And then sometimes you'll have the real sun in the sky. Nibiru is a planet, it's a sun, it's a spaceship.
The Nerubians out here and they're cleaning up the sky, and I've been speaking about this for months. I told y'all, look, you got all type of beings here that's a part of the Galactic Confederation, and they got different jobs. Like the Nerubians' job is to go in the sky and clean up all the oxygen and all the Morgellons out of our sky that these invaders put in our air, and that's what the fuck been going on. So you're going to feel the planet warming up. You're going to feel it being harder to breathe right now because your avatars, everybody's used to breathing oxygen when we're supposed to be breathing hydrogen.
Oh, I'm going to get hit for sure.
And I've showed this before with DNA links and stuff like that and how it look on a chart. DNA, which is really DEA, and how it's 3 of them, and how you got the little links. Those are hydrogen links. Originally, we breathed hydrogen on this planet, on this realm.
Originally, we breathed hydrogen. That's wild.
You got to now understand that we are going through a pole shift. And then, like I said, it didn't just start. It's been going on. And the energy is going back to that warm, you know, to that heat that we never felt in this lifetime because, you know, they took the planet over. So if you got neuromelanin, all this new heat going to be hot to you, but you can take it, though. And you'll notice the longer you stand out there in it and try to meditate in the sun, you'll really be able to take it. And it's going to feel kind of good to you, no matter how hot it is, it's going to feel kind of good. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't have neuromelanin, you can't take this shit at all right now. Motherfuckers is falling out and dying.
Yeah, he gets a little too racy at times, but he might not be wrong. This one's wild. Everybody's just going to say AI, but I don't know. It could be. Could not be. Well, I did have cool music behind it. Oh. Not that it makes that much of a difference. Could you imagine that shit? That one just looked creepy. So does that one. But dude, these remind me of the trolls, y'all. The trolls. Ew. What's up, Darren Scott? Stuff though. This guy always gets me, man. This guy right here. This one. He looked wild, bro. Wild. Now, yes, of course, it could be fake. Probably chances are, but it's hard to say. The trolls were a real thing, I believe. I do believe that. But there you have it, fam. I appreciate y'all coming out. We hung right around 1,000 people on 4 platforms, so thank you so much. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support, man. Even if sometimes you don't agree with what I say or what I got out there, I appreciate the love and constructive criticism. We're not always going to see eye to eye. Most times, I feel like we're pretty close to on the same page. Just know, guys, that I don't post stuff. The stories I tell, like the story recently with the Leviathan, and then the story with the giant in Afghanistan. Even if those are part of, a Reddit no sleep or something along those lines, I'm not telling it as a total bullshit story. I'm telling it as in, I truly believe that certain things like that absolutely can happen, and have. Maybe the guy that wrote the giant story, they say sometimes people will come onto Reddit and tell their real story just so they can get it off their chest type stuff. But regardless, just like the Leviathan, somebody who had studied the Leviathan in depth, like at a scholarly level, messaged me when I told my last stories about the Leviathan and said that in ancient text it says that the Leviathan slithered across the land and created the Nile. So at the end of the day, that story, the only reason I'm saying this is because on my YouTube I got a comment about how my content used to slap, but now I just be reaching. Well, yeah, like 52 likes. I don't let it bother me. It's just comments. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm not out here trying to reach and talk and mislead you guys. I'm not out here trying to deceive anybody just to get views. It's not my way. It's not my cut, man. I'm not out here telling stories that are total bullshit just to get views. I didn't grab that alien off of some TikTok platform that I know is bullshit and come over here and try to paint a narrative with it. I'm telling you guys what I believe with that alien. That's the truth. What I think could be possible. There's no evidence at all showing that ET video from Las Vegas, that one that I started with tonight, came from anywhere else. I haven't seen anything, not one piece of evidence stating where that video came from other than Vegas. Inconveniently at the exact same point in time. It's not from, I would never knowingly know that was not from Vegas and bring it into a video just to get clout and just to get views. I'm not out to deceive you guys. I really care about what I put out there. I love you guys, and I would never just put bullshit out there on you ever. So just know that. And I love the stories I tell, even though some of them are wild. The Reddit no sleeps get a little crazy, but like I said, they believe the Leviathan carved the Nile. That story that was told with the Leviathan and the guy that dove down to, what was he? 50,000 feet. So 9 times 5, it's like 10 miles. Yeah, 10 miles. Almost exactly 10 miles below the surface of or in the depths of the ocean. Who's to say? In ancient texts, there's all kinds of stories of an octopus-like being that comes out of the water and sinks whole ships. Did that exact instance takes place? I don't know, maybe not, but I assure you that there's a lot that we have no clue about. And don't forget that the world is much, much crazier than you or I even can begin to know. I feel like I know quite a bit, and I know it's crazy. So it's even crazier than that. So don't ever underestimate things. Obviously, not every story I tell is going to come out to be true, but I definitely present them in a manner of, do I think that it's possible? Well, sure, yeah, you know what I mean? So that being said, I appreciate you guys. Stay watching, stay tuned, and I may try to produce a story tomorrow or the next day. Because like I said, I have a wedding this weekend, so that's kind of why I went live tonight. I may try to produce a story tomorrow during the day or something, just so I have something to post Friday or Saturday night. Maybe even if it's just a 3 to 6 minute video, but I'll always have something for you. If not, for sure Monday. So stay in the love, stay in the light, stay tuned. I am out, my friends.